You're listening to The Agronomy Show, presented by Advanced Agrilytics.
Well, hello listeners, Travis Martin here again with The Agronomy Show. This week we are going to introduce our Fast 5-Minute series, where you will hear from one of our precision agronomists for a quick 5-minute crop update and question series. This week we will head to Iowa first, where we're going to link up with Sue Eivins Brakhane. So Sue, tell us a bit about your background, where your home base is, and what geography you cover.
So thank you, Travis. I am currently based in Winterset, Iowa, which is close to where I grew up at. I spent 26 years in the ag industry between college interns and then out in the full world in the Midwest, working with seed production and equipment agronomics, precision ag, and then to the commercial seed technical agronomy side. And then had the opportunity this spring to join Advanced Agrilytics in the field. After going through various portions in the Midwest primarily, I'm back home, and from Winterset, I cover central and south central Iowa as a precision agronomist.
Sue, so folks, listeners know we're recording this on Tuesday, August 25th. We know you're in central Iowa. What is your take on the crop status right now in your area?
I would say the first thing that comes to mind is highly variable. We've had very high levels of drought, definitely to my north and west. We have had some good and decent rainfall north and east, but that's also where the storm paths took out a lot of places here a week or so ago. So we have a lot of issues going on in those fields. And I think as we come south, we've been very dry. We're losing pastures as we hit the cattle market, and guys are trying to get into chopped silage. So we're just at the point where the crops are finishing fast and hard with a lot of heat here the last week. And then this week's supposed to keep temperatures up all through the weekend. And then we finally drop back into the 80s, which will help the crop a little bit, but we're going to be finished in a lot of places by that point.
So you mentioned the heat there. And so as we go to the grower question, what do folks and producers need to be watching for kind of with this intense heat that'll be coming up here in the next 7-10 days?
I think the biggest thing to watch for is understand how quickly our crops are finishing. So we had some decent grain fill or decent ear fill in some places as far as rows set. And then we started to struggle in the pockets that were in higher drought levels. So we had some tip back show up on some ears in the corn side. But then from there, we started to get into a little bit higher levels of drought and some other pieces that are watching in the areas that were dry. And I think the biggest thing is as we added the heat on top of it, we're basically baking in an oven out here. It feels like it when you walk out your door and also as you look at the crop. And I think overall, understand on the corn, you can see it visually driving down the highway. You know, the stalks are starting to white out or ghost out at the base of the plant. Those are giving up what they can to finish whatever they can put into those kernels in the ear and let that plant finish off at the end. So they're losing their carbs in there. Watch your stalk integrity and watch your ear husk change color as your ears droop down. That's going to be another sign of how soon you need to be harvesting in the field. I'd say in the last just 3 to 4 days, we've really hit solid dent on most products and are definitely moving the milk line. There's milk line at halfway down on the 110-day products, 112-day products. That came on in a hurry and really cooked out in the last few days. So understand we're going to be in for a little bit earlier harvest. I think a lot of folks are aware of that with the high heat, and it's something you need to be aware of. If you still have silage to chop, I know a lot of guys just started here in the last week and are really starting to roll. This is on a calendar date timing. We're about right, but the key is we're earlier than what we'd like to be because of the heat and drought stress. And without pastures and cattle feed, that's something we need to pull in and take out just as soon as you can in the next week here. Be about where we're going to finish off to get decent quality feed, if not even past for the dryness of the stalks. I would say a couple things to expect when you get into the field is as we do finish and we're going so fast, we're pushing what we can into those kernels, but because we're drying down and finishing that ear a lot quicker, you're not going to have the depth. They're going to be a lot shallower in a lot of places, and you're going to be probably lighter weight kernels than what you were hoping. So definitely check and make sure your combine settings are where you want to be to get that off the ear, and make sure you're set for your stalk width on those plants too as you go through the field, because they may be thinner than what you anticipated. And remember, that's going to vary as you go across the acres. I think the other thing on soybeans, as you look this last piece, we didn't get the August rains we'd all hoped to get in most areas that I'm covering, and that did not allow us to get that last top knot of grain and nodes on those upper part of the plant. So we do have a few pods that kind of set in there, but a lot of them aborted back, or instead of setting a 3-bean pod up there, they're setting a 2 or a 1, or they're even losing some beans down below as they try to fill them on the rest of the plant. Just be aware where you're at. And like I say, equipment settings are going to be a big thing as you go through the fields and you get in here quicker than you expected.
Thanks, Sue. Important to have these late season insights, especially as folks in Iowa feel the heat here this last full week of August. Well, listeners, that is all for now. We'll be back with another Fast 5-minute series later this week from another spot in the Corn Belt.
Thanks for tuning in to the Agronomy Show podcast. For more information on the Agronomy Show and Advanced Agrilytics, head to advancedagrilytics.com.